AI agents are all the rage these days, but in practice, many have been leaving a lot to be desired, lacking the type of reach across channels that our customers have. What if there was an AI agent that was omni-channel, connecting brands with shoppers wherever they are? Welcome to One Amazing Thing About Bluecore. Today we're talking with Fayez Mohamood, CEO of Bluecore, and he's going to be sharing one amazing thing about Bluecore's alby with us today. Fayez, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Yeah, looking forward to talking about this with you. Why don't we start with you giving a little background on you and your role at Bluecore?
Awesome. I'm Fayez, co-founder and CEO of Bluecore, and I started Bluecore about a decade ago. And our goal was always to help brands and retailers discover their best customers and keep them for life. And we recently acquired Alby, which is what we'll be talking about today. And Alby is a shopping agent that potentially gives the ability for brands and retailers to treat every customer like their best customer. So my role as a co-founder and CEO is to make sure that we're taking the company into this brave new world of agents, while also making sure that our current products and services are doing everything they should be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Before we take a look here, just one more question for you. Who's the audience for this, and why is it important to them?
Yeah, our clients are all either brands or retailers. So companies that have millions of shoppers, either online or in stores, or it could be a direct to consumer, a brand or a retailer like an Alo Yoga that's growing and scaling, right? So our customers are brands or retailers that sell physical products to their customers. But at the end of the day, Bluecore really focuses on creating exceptional experiences for the customers of our customers.
Yeah, yeah, love it. Well, let's take a look. Why don't you share your screen and talk us through it?
Yeah. So what I'm going to share today is an example of an implementation of Alby, which is Bluecore's shopping agent on one of our clients' websites. This is Evo. Evo is a retailer that sells ski, snowboard, bike, outdoor equipment, and so forth. And what you'll see here is this is the website of Evo. And what we wanted to do, and one of the insights that Alby had, going back to what you said about agents before, is a lot of shoppers are familiar with chatbots.
Right.
And the reality is, like, a lot of chatbots are really annoying. A lot of shoppers do not know what to ask them. And a lot of times it's focused on support when something goes wrong. So we wanted to create an experience that felt very different. And what you'll see here is as you scroll down, as you're trying to explore more about the product, Alby, much like a great sales associate, kind of comes up with a set of pre-prompted questions. So there's 5 questions here. You're not asking them, but it almost feels like when you read them, you're asking them. For example, is this board good for beginners?
Yeah.
And when I click on it, you can see it gives you an answer based off of that. What Alby is doing is Alby has a series of questions that it comes up with by analyzing all kinds of product information, that exists on the website, instruction manuals, what other shoppers have said on ratings and reviews, design inspiration that may never exist on the website, visual analysis, and then it comes up with questions that let a shopper learn about the product in a conversational way versus needing to digest a lot of content, right? I heard somewhere the other day that, people don't like to read anymore.
Right.
And, Alby sort of makes it very easy to come up with these questions that get you to learn about the products, right? So you can see, is it stable for tricks? So as an example, and it engages with you. Obviously, you can ask free form questions as well. But one of the things we find out is that 95% of shoppers do not know what to ask.
Mm.
And they engage with these pre-prompted questions. These questions obviously give you answers, but you can imagine it's a place where where Evo can begin to learn about the shopper. For example, if I click, is this board good for beginners versus experts? That tells me a little bit more about who might be shopping for it. Maybe Alby can recommend other types of products in that same experience, right? That is a skill Alby has. I'll walk into a very different example. This is another product, a base layer, and you can see questions are very different, right? Compared to other gear. How does D3O technology work? I have no idea what that is, but I will once I click on it and get to know it, right? Clearly, it's bringing up attributes of the product that likely lead to engagement and conversion, which can sometimes be difficult, especially if you're in a desktop or a mobile environment.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is great. I mean, so two things immediately come to mind. I mean, one is this keeps people on the page, right? So instead of going to Google or Chat GPT or wherever you're searching these days for this information. And I mean, the second thing is, product specifications. Some people know how to read those things and make sense of them, but a lot of people don't, right? So either they're some core benefits of a product are completely lost on them because they don't know what a material type or size or whatever necessarily means for them, but or they're again going offsite somewhere else to look at reviews or stuff like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's very subtle. There's other things that Alby is soon starting to, will soon do. For example, if I go and add this to cart and I start engaging with Alby, it will now have context on the fact that it's something's in your cart and maybe give you contextual recommendations based off of that, right? If you're shopping for furniture, it could do things like, oh, Greg, looks like your style is mid-century modern.
Yeah.
Here's other mid-century modern products if you want it, right? And those are things that were just completely impossible before in a traditional sort of e-commerce experience, right? So this is really about how do you come up with like exceptional experiences? Again, going back to we believe that it is possible with this new technology for every brand and retailer to treat every customer like their best customer. If you think about classically how brands and retailers or airlines have worked, is like they usually group you in like, oh, you're my loyal customer, you're my high value customer. And it made sense because that's what was possible either technologically or operationally.
Yeah.
And what if you could treat every customer like an exceptional customer? We believe that'll lead to better lifetime value, better retention, and so forth.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And to your point, I mean, as opposed to those like highly automated chat bots and stuff like that I think, a lot of consumers are kind of over. This is, personalized and, embedded in the right place at the right time and stuff like that. So definitely a step up from, what has been shown to kind of frustrate customers. This actually helps because it prompts them in ways that they had the question in their mind or they didn't even know how to articulate the question, but they're wondering, right?
That's right. Yeah, in the last 4 or 5 months, it's what really scaled out. We've already done 12 million conversations,
Oh
and
wow.
it's still early days. That's just across 30 clients. And what we find is there is really good engagement on the agent. In many cases, upwards of 10% of people that visit one of these product detail pages choose to ask at least one question to Alby. And the other thing we find is customer satisfaction, which can be measured, is very high. It's north of 85% in
Wow.
terms of customers finding it helpful. So we see that as a really great signal because it ultimately leads to better conversion. So that's one. The second thing is you can imagine that we are going to now take Alby and really give it the ability to engage in other channels, obviously on the website, in multiple places, inside of the mobile app. But if this agent understands Greg really well, understands the products he's interested in, understands when someone like an Evo merchandises new products. There's no reason that the agent cannot bring exceptional messages to you proactively, or you reach out to the agent without even needing to go on the website one day, right? So that's really the promise here.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Well, Faiz, thanks so much for joining the show. One last question before we wrap up. For those that are interested in learning more, what's the best way for them to see this and get in touch?
Yeah, you can either go to bluecore.com or alby.com. And, if you're on an e-commerce platform like Shopify, you can click a few buttons and get up and running. So it's as straightforward as that. But if you need any help setting up, you can come and request a demo and get in touch with somebody at Bluecore.
Wonderful. Well, again, I'd like to thank Faiz Mohamood, CEO of Bluecore, for joining the show. You can learn more about Faiz and Bluecore by following the links in the show notes.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Oh.